Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So the plot thickens, man. Adrien Broner is training with two TMT fighters, Richardson, and Javante Tank Davis. I find that completely interesting, knowing that Tank Davis is currently at odds ends with Floyd Mayweather, and last time, well, not the last, yeah, was it the last interview I had with Adrien Broner at length in January, he talked about, well, he basically said F Floyd Mayweather. He went in on fight hype, etc., etc. But I find that extremely interesting, man, that Richardson is training with Adrien Broner and Kevin Cunningham. So Kevin Cunningham, it's like LeBron James joining the Miami Heat. Adrien Broner brought everybody with him. You know what I mean? Gladys Knight in the pits from the reference from the Game 7 yesterday. And I'm glad. I mean, Kevin Cunningham is a straightforward dude. I've only interviewed him one time at length, so I don't know him really, really. Well, now the landscape of boxing is what it is. I'll get to know him a little bit better as time progresses. But I wonder what Floyd Mayweather thinks about about Adrien Broner spending. Now he's on an everyday occurrence with Floyd fighters, and I interviewed Tank Davis a week ago Saturday, and you know, basically they just don't like Floyd's bullshit. Basically, you know, from what I gathered from Tank Davis is he's not really perturbed about his promoting. He doesn't just like him as a man. You know, that's the impression that I got from Tank Davis, and he and Adrien Broner, as I mentioned in the interview, are absolutely gaining trust in one another, which is, you know, it is what it is. And Richardson at 140. If I'm mispronouncing his name, I totally apologize. But his name is definitely a tongue twister. At 140, he got the golden card, man. He's literally coming after all this takes place at 147, and he's above the weights as the next guy is coming. So he's literally in a standalone position that I see, because you got Devin Haney at 135, and everyone else is 135 and below. And Richardson is at 140, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And as he come up, there will be people, the Earl Spence and everyone will be beyond him. So he has a chance to do great things in boxing. I mean, you can't blame him for the year he was born and when he started boxing. But he's definitely in a gold spot because he's younger than Prograis to even challenge. I mean, that might be a fight later on down the line, but I'm just saying that it's just lightning in the bottle for that kid. He got a chance to really do some things, and he's fighting every 2 months. Every time I go to Barclays Center, he's fighting on the card. So I definitely could see him on the undercard of Robert Easter and Mikey Garcia. I definitely can see him on that card. I mean, he's a low-paying job, not out of disrespect, but he doesn't garnish that much income. So I can definitely see him on that card, and I think that's going to be a Richard Schaefer card. And Richardson has been primarily an East Coast Lou DiBella type fighter, and I think he has a chance to be special. And I'll say this: Adrien Broner has really been quiet today. I mean, quiet overall. You know, I saw him with Rick Ross yesterday. I follow him on Instagram, so I saw him with Rick Ross yesterday, and I see him in the gym today. I saw some cryptic message about, I forget what it said, but one cryptic message every 4 months for Adrien Broner is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm setting up a one-on-one interview with Adrien Broner for either Friday or Saturday morning before the fight. We'll see. If I'm talking to his management team now. So if that goes through, I think that will be an interview that we'll learn some things about each other. I'll learn some things about Adrien Broner. I'll learn some things about myself, and we'll learn some things about each other. And hopefully I do y'all well, and it should be a good interview. So I'm waiting to hear back. we've tentatively agreed on Friday at some point, but we'll see how that goes. I told them I get in town on Thursday, and they get in, and Broner and them get in town on Friday. So we'll see. So I'm definitely excited to have that one-on-one interview with AB. I'm thoroughly impressed in comparison to his past efforts and to how he's maneuvering himself in between fights. I would assume the subsidies of Florida is doing him very well. He's not in Miami. I don't know where they're at. Put in the comment section. You guys know where Kevin Cunningham trains at. Devin Alexander, I'm not sure who he's fighting on the Earl Spence card because Andre Berto didn't take the fight. So he's still in camp. He's still training. So I would assume he's fighting someone. But the undercard has yet to be announced. I would think that they would have to announce that this week so they can put it in the promos for next week for Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares. And since I'm jumping all this together, I'll digress back into Adrien Broner. But Leo Santa Cruz deserves a lot of credit. He's carrying not the weight of the world on his shoulders, the weight of the universe, the weight of his life, the weight of his legacy on his shoulders in this fight next Saturday. I'm not doing a prediction video on this fight because, you know, I don't know what to expect in this fight. His dad is literally day to day with cancer, last I checked. I saw him standing last week, but 3 weeks prior, I saw him in a wheelchair in someone's video on YouTube. So I would have loved to break down that fight, but I think it's just too much going on outside of boxing. I don't know what Leo Santa Cruz is going to show up. I don't know if he performs better or he performs worse. I have no idea, but Leo Santa Cruz is under immense pressure for this fight June 9th. So just me guesstimating. Maybe I have people who listen to the videos a little bit better than I do, but that know the Santa Cruz family better than I do. I think his dad probably wanted this fight, you know, in terms of before he passed. You know, this is for the King of LA. If he wins this fight, then he goes on and unifies with Gary Russell and at some point. So kudos to them. That's going to be a hell of a fight. Abner Mares will be ready. Robert Garcia puts the best game plans together for any fight, from Abner Mares, Jesus Cuellar, Mikey Garcia fights, and most notable, Floyd Mayweather and Maidana versus Adrien Broner. So his game plan, whether he wins or loses, Robert Garcia's game plans are truly impeccable. Now, let me digress back to Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner is in a mentorship position, and we'll see how he performs in this. It seems like everyone is happy. I mean, Robert Easter literally looks like he can make weight tomorrow. If he had a fight this weekend, it looks like he would be just fine. You know, he looks good. He looks like he's going to be real comfortable making the weight. I put quotation marks around making 135 at his frame, you know, but he looks to be in good shape. He looks to be in good spirits, as you guys can probably see in the thumbnail. Kevin Cunningham is literally smiling from ear to ear, as he should. You know, 6 months ago, he just had Devin Alexander becoming drug-free. Not 6 months ago, but I'm just saying his situation. Had all his eggs in one basket with Devin Alexander coming off some form of prescription drug addiction, and he drew with Victor Ortiz, which they say, I didn't watch that fight because I was covering Brandon Rios versus Danny Garcia, so I didn't watch that fight. But by most accounts, they say that Devin Alexander truly won that fight. So we'll see. Kevin Cunningham is looking good. Robert Easter looks good. Adrien Broner is in a mentorship position. But truth be told, literally every interview that I've done, they said Adrien Broner has been a good dude in terms of their personal relationship with them. And Robert Easter speaks very eloquent and highly and of Adrien Broner, of how they met on Facebook, and he literally took him underneath his wing and basically carried Robert Easter to the position that he's in now. And Tank Davis says that in my interview, he met him when he was 14 or 15. took Tank Davis under his wings and basically helped propel him to the position that he's in, allowed him to meet Floyd Mayweather. As you guys, his famous sparring sessions with Devin Haney the night before Sean Porter, Adrien Broner, which I've chronicled in other videos. But yeah, Floyd Mayweather, I mean not Floyd Mayweather, Adrien Broner is definitely in a mentorship, leadership position, which makes him a pseudo promoter. You know, at the end of the day, when their contracts is up, I can totally see them as a subsidy of About Billions Promotions, and it makes a whole lot of sense for them to network and build these sub fighting arenas. You don't have to be at Barclay every night. You can do like between 2,000 and 5,000 people's arena. Sell that out. You understand what I'm saying? With some amateurs, and you guys do autographs and meet and greets, and you know what I mean. You align yourself with a very profitable nonprofit, very popular nonprofit, or something like that. You know, you pay the disc jockey. You know, you give him $2,000 and 10 free tickets, and he promotes the fight for you. And you understand, in the mid-market areas, and there you have it. You have Adrien Broner, Richardson Hitcherson, and Robert Easter and Tank Davis. Basically, Mississippi West, Mississippi River East. You know, I can totally see that occurring. And as it relates to Floyd Mayweather, this speaks volumes about what's not being said, but what's being shown in actions in terms of valuing Floyd Mayweather, if he doesn't care. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather cares or he don't cares, but silence is an action as well. So about what people genuinely feel about Floyd Mayweather, because T.I. went berserk when he saw his wife in a picture with Floyd Mayweather. Like, you don't really, you don't hang out with your rivals. And at this stage in the boxing game, Floyd Mayweather and Adrien Broner are really rivals. I mean, look what he said about Leonard Ellaby. You know, and Leonard Ellaby responded quite eloquently. But they're basically rivals right now. Richardson is a Floyd Mayweather fighter, last I checked. I didn't see his fight this past time because I got to the arena late. He was one of the first couple of fights when I was at Barclay recently. I forget what fight was I there for. I was just there for somebody's fight. Oh, Broner, April 21st. And so that's what we got coming. And so I'm truly wondering what's in Floyd Mayweather's brain. You know, how does he feel about this? Like, I really would like to ask him about that. If you're in media, I just gave you a lob because I would wonder how they truly feel. You know, maybe you would go to Leonard Ellaby, make sure they're not together when you ask the question, and then you go ask Floyd Mayweather, and you put the pieces together, and you can see the synergy and the energy in the comments of the responses from those interviews, and you put it together, and there lies your answer. So, but we'll sit back and see, man. Boxing is about to pick up after June 9th. We got June 9th, June 14th. We got Terrence Crawford. I feel so bad for Terrence Crawford, man. Like, he's the pound for pound best fighter in the world, man, and he's on a $4.99 app with no promotion. Man, if you haven't heard the video I did earlier, I would ask that you go watch that video that I did on Terrence Crawford about he's going to wake up June 10th and still be the loser, because I haven't seen no commercials on any other station. Well, I don't watch TV, and literally I haven't seen his commercial on my YouTube channel, because I either watch YouTube or I'm on Tidal listening to music. You know, that's literally my life. You know what I mean? So if it's not a live sporting event, like, my TV didn't even cut on today. I was listening to the autobiography of Malcolm X. If you guys haven't heard that, I would suggest that you go listen to the autobiography of Malcolm X. I finished it today. You know, it's a bridged version, but you know, I listen to it consistently, and you know, it's good for the space that I'm in right now. I'm in a great space in terms of growth. I know I'm jumping subjects, but you know, my day one and my subscribers fuck with me like that. So um, I'm in a space of growth in terms of I'm in a space in my life where I'm really, really inquisitive. Like I'm searching for the truth, you know, and I don't think truth is in one religion. I don't believe there's such thing as a his truth. I don't believe there's such thing as a her truth. I believe that there is the truth. And I'm really, really, really delving into that right now. And I'm fortunate enough that I have a mental space right now where I'm thirsting for it, you know. So that's where I'm at. And so I just figured I'd listen to the autobiography of Malcolm X like I've had in the past, and just grow. You know, it was his birthday, May 19th. As you guys know, that's a holiday in my family, and we celebrate that as if it's Martin Luther King's birthday, as if it's Thanksgiving. It's literally a holiday where we stop what we're doing and we celebrate it. You know, I teach my kids about it, whether they understand it right now or not, but you know, we'll get there as a family. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. I just talked about I put 8 different videos in this channel, but hopefully you guys fuck with me. And if you're mad I did that, I'm unapologetic about it, but catch me on the next one. I'll be a little bit more succinct. Barbershop conversations, man. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Peace.